Hey Aaron, Josh here. I need skate support on my front side shove-its. I've got my basics down, still learning a little bit, but I really do have the majority down here. I will show you. I've tried frontside shove it a couple times, but I could never get it, so I'll do a couple for you. Please, if you can, please do my video. If not, it's fine, I understand. So, I'll give you a few looks at how I think I should be doing it. That's what happens. That's as close as I've ever gotten it. I'm doing wrong. Like, am I supposed to... I'm standing like this and then shoving back. I'd imagine that's how you're supposed to do it. I'll show you here. Just like that. I would hope that's how I'm supposed to be doing it. At this point, I'm really just having the trouble of even getting it to stay under me. Like, it's always going behind me or in front of me or side of me, that side. And it gets really frustrating because I'm stuck at this point. So I'd really appreciate it if you could help me. Thanks. All right, bye.
Alright, I'm going to help you out with these frontside shove-its. So first let's check out this slow-mo. And I think the next one is the one where you got really close. But this one, yeah, the board, it does the front shove motion really well. It just goes really far behind you. So I guess we got to figure out how to fix that. Let's check out this next slow motion. Boom, you bend down. Board does the good front shove motion. And this one, look, I thought you were going to land this one, but your back foot just came down a little too fast for the board. So there's a couple things I think you need to fix for this trick, and it seems like you're having a lot of trouble with it, and I totally understand your frustration, but when you get mad skateboarding, it's only going to make it a lot harder. So I would just recommend that you just kind of stay calm. You try not to get mad at it and just look at it at the perspective that you're a new skateboarder and front shoves are actually really hard to get right. So I wouldn't really get mad at yourself about it, but I would be diligent and try to really put a lot of effort into it and keep trying over and over until you got it. So the first thing I would like to touch on is your foot position. And from what I can see, your foot is in the middle of the tail, which can work, but for your problem, I think it's giving you more problems than what would happen if you changed your foot position. So what I would have you do is put your back foot in the back pocket of your tail, and you can see it like what Aaron's doing right here. But yeah, there's that back little pocket that you can put your foot into, and instead of scooping forward like you're doing, I recommend you just you put your foot in that back pocket and you just go for a straight pop down. And I know that sounds kind of weird because for a shove it you do scoop, but for a frontside shove it, it's more of a popping motion less than a scooping motion. It's going to take a lot of getting used to, but what I'd recommend is that, like I said, you put your foot in that back pocket and then you just practice popping your board like that and getting the front shove with the pop. And once you start doing that over and over, you're going to start getting familiar with how it feels to get that pop and that shove it, that shove it motion. Also, I noticed that the board is flying really far behind you, and it's kind of funny how that happens. But the goal of putting your foot and popping straight down is so that doesn't happen. What you're doing is kind of keeping all your weight forward, and then you're really trying to like throw your board and shove it really hard forward, and that's causing your board to kind of fling backwards. So what you have to do is keep your weight and your shoulders centralized over your skateboard. And then once you have your weight centered, if you're doing that pop motion, the pop straight down for the for the front shove, it's going to stay under you every single time. And it might feel a little awkward at first trying to get that weight adjustment and then that pop down at the same time. But I guarantee once you keep practicing it, it's going to come really easy to you. So first step, put your back foot in the back pocket of your tail and pop straight down. It's not a shove, it's not a scoop, it is a pop. Pop straight down. And then once you figure that out, I just want you to keep practicing that pop front shove motion over and over and over again until it gets really easy for you. And then once you start doing that, I'd say you just do the front shove motion and land with your front foot first, and then you keep practicing that over and over and over, and then practice landing with only your back foot. Do that over and over until you're really good at it. And then once you got those 2 steps, really just keep your weight centered. Do the front shove motion like you're used to, and just bend your legs really high and commit to it. And then I think you got it. So that is a lot to take in, but I know you got that. So keep practicing, and I'll see you next time.
Hey, Aaron and the rest of Braille Skateboarding. My name's Griffin, and I would like some advice on my kickflip. Thank you.
All right, so your kickflips are actually very, very interesting. And I say that because your pop is really, really good, and your flick is also extremely good. It seems like you're kind of just jumping off your skateboard. So really, I think the advice I would give you in this situation is just to commit. Also, I think the reason it's happening is because you're keeping your weight really far back and you're leaning back a lot. And I looked really closely at your kickflip, and your flick is really good, and you're making a lot of contact on the flick. But I can see your back foot is so like far off the skateboard that it looks like you're gonna fall off your skateboard. So I would recommend, just try to keep your weight centralized over the board. For the kickflip, it's one of those tricks that should stay under you the entire time. So really, in theory, you should just be able to keep your weight and your shoulders centralized over your skateboard, and it'll stay right under you. But yeah, like I said, your pop is really good and your flick is really good. You're flicking upwards. You're getting a nice long, like slow flick, so you can really have time to catch it. But other than that, really, yeah, I just think you need to commit. So a couple things that can help with commitment are, it seems like you have your flick down really well, but just practice flicking your skateboard, getting it down perfectly, and then landing with your front foot, and then do the same thing, just landing with your back foot. And then really it's just, you got to think about it like an ollie. The same way that you pop straight down and then you bend your knees to get the ollie to go higher is exactly the same thing you do for a kickflip. So you pop, you flick, and then you bend your knees, and then your board is going to follow you. And then you catch it with that back foot and stomp down. So I really don't think you're that far off. To me, it looked like you're most of the way there, and you just have to give it a couple really good college tries where you just jump on there and see what happens. But yeah, like I said in the last skate sport, it does happen a lot with new skateboarders that learning a new trick, it gets scary, honestly. I remember it took me so long to learn front shove-its, and it also took me a really long time to learn kick flips. But yeah, I think if you just keep going at it and you keep trying over and over, and you just, one of those tries, just give it a full college try, and don't be afraid of falling, because falling on flat ground can't be too bad. I think you will land it. So other than that, yeah, just keep doing what you're doing with the pop, keep doing what you're doing with the flick, and other than that, just keep your weight centralized over the board and bend those knees. Give your board enough time to flick in the air, and then you'll be able to land it. So good luck, and thanks for sending in your video.
Definitely check out Skateboarding Made Simple. It's available on all these platforms, iBooks, BrailleSkateboarding.com, and Google Play. It's the most comprehensive video we've ever made, and it teaches skateboarding better than anything else out there. You won't be disappointed.